So it's always bad when your heroes fall, and I think Belichick is done. I think he's exposed himself.
Well, the good thing about him is he fell, but he fell on top of her. So, I mean, I guess not too bad of a fall, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm sorry, he's an idiot.
I mean, she doesn't know a hit screen. She doesn't know you know what I'm saying? Like, it would have been better if he got with someone from here that knew football, preferably someone that was in the stands. He could have picked them out.
But like, that's the crazy thing. Like, Belichick in New England, like, he could have forget about he could have had the pick of any woman he wants. He could have probably had a pick of half the guys.
Yeah, literally. Yep.
Like, there was a
Belichick is a god here.
There's a few people that basically are now saying that he's obviously, because of his poor decisions, it was obviously all Brady.
I mean, at the end of the day, I look at it like this, and this, to me, this is a big topic with me because I've heard people on one side, I've heard people on the other. I am directly in the middle. If you have either one of them pieces out there, those championships are also not there. I don't care and I'll debate this with anybody. It takes not even just them two. Right. It takes the coaching staff, the players. It takes everybody. Without his offensive and defensive coordinators, it might not have been as easy. Without Josh McDaniel as his offensive coordinator, might not have been as easy. Without Brady and then you have the receivers, it takes the entire team.
I still think I give more of the edge to Brady just because of execution. He did it on his own. Belichick only has one playoff win without Brady.
True.
And he actually has a losing record without Brady.
But I think, I mean, obviously, if you throw even a good quarterback like Drew Bledsoe, you throw him in that equation, that didn't work.
Right.
You know, he needed someone like Tom Brady. But it wasn't really so much as Tom Brady's playing, it's Tom Brady's mindset. That's what had to get linked up in order to make it. In order to make a champion, you have to have a champion's mindset.
Well, it's also helped that he had
and a great team around him.
Yeah.
You know, you take guys like Will Fork and who else? Good God, I can't think of it.
Little food. You want to eat something too?
Leela, watch out.
Yeah.
But you take the offense, you take the defense, the special teams. You know, our heroes like Vince Wilfork, who's a huge you fucking love.
Yeah.
Our receivers, and even then, it even still takes chance. Like if you take that Julian Edelman drop,
oh yeah,
no one even cares about that Super Bowl anymore.
Well, but the other thing looking at the teams, and I don't know if this is just because we watch them intently every game. You had coaches on the field; they just weren't called coaches,
right?
I mean, you had Vrabel on the field. You had, I mean, I know he never.
He's a really good one.
I know he never got into coaching, but you know, Brewski, as much as people loved him for his name.
Yeah, Brewski was a field general.
But he watched stuff, called it out.
That guy was a field general.
Seymour.
Another one. Field general.
And then we're not even talking about like
we're only going
Ty Law,
a few
William
guys.
Malloy.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, forget about Patriots Hall of Fame.
I call those guys aerial assassins. If that ball goes in the air, if you catch it, you're getting hurt, or they're grabbing it, one or the other.
Well, they literally wouldn't. I think one year, Ty Law had like some really low number of interceptions because none of the quarterbacks would throw to him. Yeah, they just wouldn't throw in his general direction.
Nope. And I forget what they called it. They called it something because they changed it. They named it for two of the players. They gave Darrelle Revis, they called his Revis Island.
Yeah.
And I forget the guy in between them, but Ty Law was the originator of the guy who you don't throw to. Yeah. He's going to take it back the other way. And the best thing is I called his interception in the Super Bowl.
I remember. I
called him picking that. I knew for a fact there's no way that they were going to keep him contained. He was going to get a ball in his hand and he was going to be gone. That's exactly what he did.
Oh, that was beautiful too.
What a Super Bowl that was, huh? Just hearing the Patriots have won the Super Bowl, I mean, like, is this real? These are real words.
Yeah.
Well, these are real words.
Well, because people don't realize we've had a ridiculous number of successes since then in the sports world. But we went basically, technically 86 for the Celtics till 2001. And like
For us, that's a long time.
For us, it was.
That's a long time.
It was our. We were kids. We were high school. We were adults, and then they win.
But that was the give and take. Was we went through all those losing seasons, but they gave us superstar like.
But as a
championship
kid,
season.
as kids, when we could watch it, and so they weren't just losing seasons where they were like.
No, we were a laughing stock. If you look at most of the team's blooper reels, or like their passes, they're all against us.
Celtics, Red Sox.
They're all everything. I mean, I don't know if it's a coincidence if people hate Massachusetts.
Well, they do now,
but
they do now.
It's like they made it personally to make sure that our teams were on that video, looking as worse as they could versus the team.
Because I remember it used to always be the Yankees were always the bad guys. Now it's always the Massachusetts, Boston team.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Well, because once we beat them, we took away the stigma. It was like they were a bully. They got beat up. Now they're no longer a bully.
Right.
Even when they went this year to they got beat in the World Series, but no one really had faith in them winning because they were like, yeah, they're not going to win. They're just good enough to what?